guys, welcome back to Adventure Camping. Tactical Nut here, and today back out in the woods. I got a lot of gear to test on this trip. As you can see, the background may be a little different than normal because well, when I got here there was already people camping right by where I normally camp. And I only do that because I packed as if I was going to be camping within 50 yards of the car, so I had to change locations. Now I'm about 150 yards away from the car, and I brought a lot of gear, so it took about 3 trips just to get everything out here. Just kind of give you a rundown of what I got up so far, and then I'll kind of take you along as we go to show you what I'm going to be testing out this trip. Got the one Tigris underquilt as usual. I got the Ciroc hammock that I've tested out before. I don't think I've done the review on it, so that'll be coming probably soon. Got the U.S. Army sleeping bag, of course, along with the Climate sleeping pad cover. I got a new pillow, Filled and Stream. This one's really soft and cushiony. Really looking forward to that. The Thermarest pad, hopefully you'll be able to tell, is under there. And yes, ladies and gentlemen, a new tarp. I got the 10-foot Superfly Gorilla Chill. Got this for Christmas, so say goodbye to the old blue tarp that I was tired of seeing. I'm sure you were tired of seeing. Oh yeah, over here, just to kind of give you an idea how much gear I brought with me. Yeah, these are all the bags. I got the new cooler for Christmas I'm testing now. It's about 40 degrees right now. It's supposed to get into the 20s, so I'm not really worried about keeping food cold, but really just want to start using it. Got the new Prandy axe. I got a Fisker's bow saw since I broke the Silky. I still have it in the car. It's still useful, but I wanted a larger saw to be able to make cutting a lot more efficient and faster. These packs I've already done reviews on, but got a bunch of gear in them. I got a couple of outdoor speakers, so I know I talked about that in one of my videos. New camp light right here. That review will be coming as soon as this trip is done, because that'll be done for the testing on it. Of course, my cook system over there in the Maxpedition bag, my chair, and this will be the last outing for this. I know I talked about I've already filmed the review for the Kizlar Supreme, but I watched it and yeah, I had to redo it. I did not like the way I was fumbling over my words and everything like that. But yeah, had to find a new campsite, and this is the awesome part. Look at all this wood. This is normally where I come to get it, so why not camp right beside it, right? That'll save myself a lot of time. All right, guys. Also brought out with me an SKS to do a little bit of shooting with later. Brought the new 1911 for another trip. It's been working awesome since I cleaned it up and stuff. I took it to the range, did well there. But yeah, stick around. I'm getting ready to throw up the tarp so we can see how that looks, and then I'll bring you back when that's done. Alright, so to give you a little bit of an idea of what it looks like set up, I gotta say, this kind of tarp I have needed for a long time and just didn't know it until I set this one up. I'll just give you a quick little rundown of what it looks like up close and why I like it. You have these little tile points right here. It did come with 4 stakes and 6 guy lines. Really great material, reinforced here on all the edges. I like it how it has the little loops there. I like the little ridgeline loop. And I'm liking this because then I know I can use this for like a tarp shelter some other time if I needed to. You know, I set this one up kind of low because I want to keep the heat in tonight. But yeah, guys, I think this has a lot of options because it has 3 tile points along here. I just didn't tighten this one down because I just don't feel like it's necessary. This is going to be tight enough as the way it is. But yeah, guys, very promising. So what I'm gonna do now is cut up some firewood. I want to go ahead and get that out of the way since I have plenty of it here. And then I can maybe go for a hike, or I don't know. I didn't have any real plans other than testing a bunch of gear. So I got the saw, the axe, I got some knives I'm still testing out. And then of course, I don't know. I think it could just be hanging out here, but I may go for a walk in just a little bit and we'll see. Whichever I do, I'll bring you in. But first, I got a firewood heaven right here, and I'm gonna get all over it. Alright, so it's about 3 o'clock. Did a lot of cutting of firewood. Realized I'm not going to have enough time for a hike. And what's more disappointing is there's a lot of people out here today, so I'm not sure if I'm going to be able to shoot. I am really crossing my fingers that I'll get to, but kind of frustrated, but we'll see. So what I decided to do is go on a little fatwood finding mission. Not sure if you'll be able to tell. Now this is not Pine Fire Shop fatwood quality, but there's a pine tree just down right over that way. I mean, it's been down there for a long time. Most of it's rotted, but I just wanted to see if even one that's in that state of decay could actually still produce some fatwood. And I mean, I don't have a sense of smell, but there's plenty of deep orange in there. The way the lighting is, I'm sure you're probably not going to be able to tell. It's not a huge amount, but if you were in a crisis situation, survival situation, you know, you got stranded or you're just having a hard time getting a fire started with whatever it is that you're using, this should be enough to get you through. So tonight when I start my fire, I'm going to use this along with the Pine Fire Shop stuff because I just love it. I mean, it works every time. It's so easy, it's so good, and I can't recommend them enough. If you haven't tried them out, you need to. But while I've been sitting here, I had to pause it for now, but because I don't want YouTube to mute the video. But I got this Bravin waterproof, shockproof, dustproof Bluetooth speaker. Yes, that is a really old iPod, but if I'm out in the woods, I'm not taking something really nice, and I don't get enough of a signal to use to stream my Pandora and stuff from my phone. So yeah, that's what I'm using. It still works awesome. I mean, it's one of the originals, the iPod Classic. I think it's like 60 gigs. Shows you how at least long they will live. But the sound out of this is incredible, and lucky enough I can play it pretty loud, and I walked pretty far that way because that's where the other people are camping, and they got multiple dogs, multiple people, so I kind of had to back away from them. But where that tree is down right there, that's about the max distance you could hear it to, so I don't have to worry about disturbing them, and I'm cool with that. Here's the firewood that I cut for this part. Grabbed a whole bunch of smalls. Of course, having a 21-inch bow saw made quick work of these larger ones, which are at about 3 inches wide each. So those should burn for a pretty long time. Got some medium or slightly bigger than, or medium, let's just go with that. I can't think of the word all of a sudden. So yeah, so I might just sit around here, play with some knives, play with the Prandy axe a little more. I was just using it. That and the saw to get the fat wood, so that was actually pretty cool. I used the Prandy axe at home some. Worked incredibly well there. I may cut some more pieces of wood just to practice splitting with it to see how it does. But with the upside down fire, you just don't need to. I mean, that's one of the glories of it. So, but you know, just want to test out the capabilities of the axe. Still using this, the Kizlar Supreme. I will do a reshoot of the review, and that will be coming soon. I am loving this knife, I tell you what. I mean, just for this, I was just using it to scrape away the dead stuff to get down to the fat wood. And I mean, everything I've used this knife for, it performs flawless. The only thing that I've had any trouble with is really hard seasoned deadwood. This is a full flat grind, so of course when that happens, they're not awesome for splitting. But anything this size, it's going to do incredibly well. It's just the really thick, really seasoned ones that I have any issue. Other than that, this thing's been incredible. Check out CAS Iberia. That's the people I got this through. They have been great supporters of the channel, so you should be supporting them. At least just that's my philosophy anyway. And yeah, I'm gonna just play around with some blades for a little while because that is one of my favorite things to do. And I'll get back to you. All right, so been collecting the fat wood for a little, or actually just playing with knives. I got this one, a Battle Horse knives over there, playing with the Prandy axe, doing some feather sticking and stuff. But I shaved down a lot of this fat wood that I found, and just going to try a lot of the fat wood dust. I did a bunch of shavings I was going to use for the fire, but I kind of wanted to do a test run with this since it's not my typical awesome Pine Fire Shop fat wood. But I'll tell you one thing that you can learn is that, I mean, the tree that I've got this off of has been down for years. I mean, most of it is completely rotted. And so, unless you've gone out and looked for fat wood yourself before, you would think that it would probably be pretty useless. But what we're getting ready to find out here, and of course I just realized my fire steel is in the pack, so I have to grab that in just a second, because I want to see just how good this stuff is at catching a spark. Let me grab my fire steel real quick. I'll just leave the camera running, so sorry about that. Oh, I am testing out a new microphone for my GoPro. Hopefully the sound is good. I mean, it's been really windy out here today at different times, not consistently. The temperature is dropping quite quickly, it feels like. But let's just see how this does. Look at that. So this is why anytime you find pine trees, especially like looking for at the joints, the knots, stuff like that, that's the area you're going to be looking for. Oops. Don't blow it out yourself, because that'd be a bad idea. But at least I know now, with a little more dust and stuff like that, just from stuff I scavenged myself, it literally took me about 10 minutes to find the different branches to get down, because it was a pretty thick spot of the tree. But obviously, very little effort to do this stuff on your own. But still highly recommend getting Pine Fire Shop stuff, because his stuff is awesome. I have never not gotten a fire started with his, but I also kind of like keep testing my own skills and to keep up with my own skills, because, you know, sometimes you can kind of get reliant on other stuff. But I think it's kind of cool that even out of a tree that has been dead and is almost completely rotted, you can still get life-saving fat wood. And you can throw it around if you like to. Alright guys, yeah, obviously I didn't go for a hike because there just wasn't going to be enough time, at least to get a decent enough distance in. So I decided to sit around and play with some knives. And I'm just as happy doing that. In just a minute I'll show you the results. Alright, so just to kind of give you an idea, this is what I did with the Prandy axe. I was taking pictures as I went. They'll be on Instagram and Facebook. So if you're not following us there, please get to following us there. That way you'll keep up with a lot more stuff that goes on in between camping trips and stuff like that. You'll see gear that's coming out to be tested. This was the Battle Horse Knives branch, which is this one right here. Like I said, this is going to be the last trip for this one. The blade normally does not look like that. I did that patina myself, but this is an excellent little knife. And then of course this one was the Kizlar Supreme. As you can see, a lot more fine feathers and stuff like that on this one, but that full flat grind is just amazing for doing stuff like that. And of course, you know, obviously this is just going to help get the fire started, but I also was just making some big shavings to go along. Hopefully you'll be able to tell that, of the fat wood that I just found. That's going to supplement the Pine Fire Shop stuff. And I just realized a little bit ago, I think it's like 4 o'clock or 4:30, and I haven't eaten today. I am so bad about it. I even stopped at the grocery store on the way here to pick up some extra snacks to go along with the food that I had, because I know I didn't have breakfast. And yet here I am, still not eating. Alright guys, I know most of you are not going to have that problem. I just forget sometimes. I really just get into what I'm doing and completely forget to eat. Don't do that when you're outdoors, because calories keep you warm in the summer or in the winter, and not to mention they just give you the energy and stuff you're going to need to go out and do all the stuff you're doing in the outdoors. Hopefully the sun didn't just move and ruin this shot. But yeah, I think I'm going to have some snacks and then wait just a little bit longer to eat dinner, because I am starting to get pretty hungry. All right, and it's getting cold. All right, so it's getting pretty cold, so I'm going to go ahead and get the fire started, because I don't like being cold. Oops, I think I hit the camera. And I cut some more wood, so in case I need it, it will be here. Just shave off some more of this pine fire, that wood from Pine Fire Shop. Now, you're not going to be able to tell, but this is almost like solid orangish red. This stuff, I mean, it's so good. I mean, it's the huge advantage to fat wood is that it lasts so long. I mean, if you keep it in the bag that it comes in, which this is one of them, little Ziploc bag. As you can see, it got the tots and a couple pieces of little sticks of fat wood. Man, it holds that stuff forever, and you don't need hardly any of it. I mean, it's just insane how good it works. And I know I've said before that I used to be, and I still am, a huge fan of trioxane. Old military fire starter. But I'll tell you what, nothing beats this for something that's natural, because the only downside to trioxane is basically once you open it, you really don't have that long to use the rest of the bar. I mean, I've had some where it would still, a couple of weeks later, a month later, still start a fire, but it starts to dry out if you don't keep it wrapped up perfectly. But fat wood, I have some just sitting in my garage that hasn't been wrapped up, and it still works fine. I mean, that resin just sticks, and so that's what's so awesome about it. Man, I just can't tell you. It's so cold today. At least it's not as bad as it was during that big winter storm that hit the southeast and or just a lot of the east coast of the country. We never got any snow, but it got down into single digits, and yeah, I was not overly excited about that. That's for sure. But I do have some military thermals to try out. I just got the lightweights. I got the medium on order. Hopefully they will be here this weekend. Look at that. This is why, ladies and gentlemen. This is why. I know I say it every time, and it's like beating a dead horse, but that's just how impressive it is. You just can't beat it. I mean, I've had this stuff for a while, and I tell you, you just need so little, it just takes forever to use it. And I do a lot of fire pits at my house. Obviously, a lot of fires in the wood. Fire just makes me happy. I'm sure there's plenty other fire bugs out there. Of course, I spilt all the shavings that I had from the piece that I found. They fell down into it, but oh well, they'll burn. So once it's going a little bit, then oh, I can't believe I just blew that out. That was all me. Hopefully it'll just spark back up with this. Oops. Oh, looks like I gotta shave some more fat wood. Alright, we'll be right back. Alright, let me just try this. I just cut it open. That little fire tot. Of course the wind's picking up, but let's just see if with it being completely exposed in the middle. Can't really brace it on this, it's too unstable to do it really fast. Nope. Alright. It's only take a second. Hopefully this wouldn't bore you to death. If it does, I'm sorry. But this is real life. Real camping in the real cold. Oops, I don't need the fire still. My hand's all sticky now. So obviously you can also tell how sharp the spine is on this knife. I absolutely love that about it. So far, can't really say anything that I don't like about it. It does everything I need it to. Alright, let's see if that'll get it going. Normally I always put the knife right back in the sheath, but it's got crap all over it, so. Gonna have to clean that off. Don't breathe. There we go. Alright. That should be good enough for the smalls. I know there's a lot of types of fires out there because I've done a bunch of them. And I need to practice different ones. One day I want to do a long fire just to see how long that will last throughout the night and all that kind of stuff. But this is just so easy and so reliable and requires so little maintenance, it's insane. So if you've never done one, you've got to try it. All right, get back to you. Well, I'll let you just watch it for a second. Just like I will. Just remember when you're doing this, you have to create enough heat up top to get it to work its way down. So you're probably going to need a lot more smalls than you would normally think. So I always get a huge pile of them just in case I need to keep adding to it. But just a little bit of maintenance right when you first start adding the smalls if you need it. And then it's pretty much maintenance free. Okay. I think I'm going to start getting ready to eat.